Hola clase, hoy vamos a hacer repaso de los verbos. Yes, it's exciting as it sounds, reviewing verbs. But because we go through things so quickly in Spanish 101, I just kind of want to get your toes wet and get you comfortable with Spanish again. But before we get started, vamos a hacer un poco de repaso. We're going to do a little bit of review. So if I asked you, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? These are all possible ways somebody might ask you, how are you? How would we say that I am happy or well? Contento or contenta? Alegre? Bien. So bien means well, alegre means happy, contento also means happy. Content is a good way to remember that one. Vamos a continuar. ¿Cómo se dice sick? ¿Cómo estás? Hoy, no me siento bien hoy. Estoy enfermo, enferma. ¿Cómo se dice tired? No dormí bien anoche. I didn't sleep well last night. Yo estoy muy cansado. Muy bien, or cansada. Fantástico. So that means enfermo is sick, cansado is tired. ¿Cómo se dice scared? Asustado. Muy bien. ¿Y cómo se dice excited? Yo, ¿cómo se dice? Yo hice muy bien en mi examen y estoy muy emocionado. That means I'm very excited. So just to review, remember we have contento, alegre, both of those mean happy. Bien means well. Enfermo is sick. Cansado is tired. Asustado is frightened or scared. Emocionado is excited. Muy bien. Hoy hay más. Okay, ¿cómo se dice irritated or annoyed? Irritado. Frustrado. Enojado. Irritado is irritated. Frustrado is frustrated. Enojado is angry. So, hola, ¿cómo está hoy? How are you today? Yo estoy muy bien, gracias. I'm very well, thank you. Hopefully you're not irritado, frustrado, or enojado. Okay, vamos a continuar. Vamos a practicar las capitales. ¿Cuál es la capital de Colombia? Bogotá. Muy bien. ¿Cuál es la capital de Honduras? Tegucigalpa. Es complicado. ¿Hay dos capitales para Bolivia? La Paz y el Sucre. ¿Cuál es la capital de España? Madrid. La capital de Perú. Lima. ¿Y la capital de Uruguay? Montevideo. Muy bien. I'm just going to share this with some of you who don't have me in person. This is a photo that I took this summer when I was in España and El Parque Retiro. So I was given a grant to do a TikTok on my languages and travel. So mostly I've done just travel. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is just a little bit of an overview of some that I've done. So if you want to check them out, you can have inside views of what it's like to travel through Granada, Madrid, Amsterdam, and I'm going to be adding more as we go along. But just to show you, I'm going to show you this one I made just to do a regular, promote that I have this or whatever, but it'll give you a better idea. Okay, so there's other things that you can check out. For example, I've visited all sorts of museums. You can see the artwork that I was able to see at a couple different museums. You can go through and see what it's like to walk through the cities of Granada, visit a cathedral, all stuff that I'll also be implementing in my class. But it's definitely an extra resource for you to have inspiration to continue to practice your languages. All right, so now we're going to really get to the exciting stuff. So hopefully you guys have your cheat sheet in front of you, and hopefully also this is just a really good review for you as we're moving into Spanish 102. So Spanish has three types of infinitives, those that end in AR, ER, and IR, which are commonly referred to as AR, ER, and IR verbs, respectively. And that is because, for example, hablar ends in AR, so it's an AR verb. Comer ends in ER, so it's an ER verb. And vivir ends in IR, so it's an IR verb. And for the most part, if they fall in this under this category and they're not irregular, they're going to follow this pattern. So if it starts with yo, it ends in O. Only in the present tense though. For AR verbs, it's O, as, a, amos, ais, an for AR verbs. For ER verbs, O, es, a, amos, ais, en. For IR verbs, O, es, a, imos, is, en. So the only difference between ER verbs and IR verbs is the nosotros and the vosotros form. Okay, so hopefully this is ringing a bell with you. If not, I'm glad we're just doing some review here for you. So to conjugate a verb, it's kind of like matematicas. One of the first things you have to do is drop the AR. So the infinitive is the verb before it's conjugated. If I want to conjugate the verb, the first thing I need to do is drop the stem, which is the ending. So that means I need to drop the AR. Now I have my stem, HABL. So if it starts with yo, it ends in O. So you would have yo hablo. Yo como, yo vivo, right? So it wouldn't matter what verb I have up here. If it's an AR, ER, IR verb. If it starts with yo, it ends in O. But the first step is always dropping off that last two letters and getting your stem and then adding what agrees with your subject pronoun. So we have a couple of verbs here to conjugate. So hablar, comer, and vivir. So hablar means to speak. Por ejemplo, yo hablo español. I speak Spanish. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Comer, yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, nosotros comemos, vosotros comáis, ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. Vivir, yo vivo, tú vives, él, ella, usted vive, nosotros vivimos, vivís, and viven. And remember, most AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs follow this pattern. Of course, there's tons of irregulars, which we're going to focus on in the next lesson. We might get to a couple of them today because it can get a little bit confusing and overwhelming, and we don't get as much chance to practice the irregular ones in Spanish 101. So this is our opportunity to do that. Pura vida. Okay, so these are just your regular verbs. I'm going to move on to the present progressive. So that was just the present tense. The present progressive is something that we touched on in the middle of semester last year, if you're taking Spanish 101. So the same concept, this means ing. I am speaking, I am talking, I am learning. So you have hablar. You drop the AR to get the stem. To form a verb with ing, hablando. So that means talking. Comer, we drop the ER. We add our ending for ER verbs, which is IENDO. It would be comiendo, which means eating. Escribir has the same ending as ER verbs. So can you put that ending together? Escribiendo. Exacto. Muy bien. And that means writing. So this is called the present progressive. The only other thing you need to put in front of this is the verb estar. So estar conjugates like a regular AR verb, except in the yo form, it's estoy. But if I was going to conjugate the verb estudiar, it's estoy estudiando. Estás estudiando. Está estudiando. Usted está estudiando. Nosotros estamos estudiando. Vosotros estáis estudiando. Ellos, ellas están estudiando. And ustedes están estudiando. So the thing that's a little bit easy about the present progressive is that it's estudiando for every single subject pronoun. The thing you have to remember is to insert the estar before it. So this next one is comiendo. So go ahead and try to do the two el, ella, and usted form on your own. Pretty easy. Estás comiendo. Está comiendo. Usted está comiendo. Nosotros estamos comiendo. Vosotros estáis comiendo. Ellos, ellas están comiendo. Ustedes están comiendo. So, I am eating, you are eating. ¿Qué estás comiendo? What are you eating? Okay, so these ones are irregular when you're talking about the present progressive. So pedir means to ask or to order. In the present progressive, it's pidiendo. Decir, diciendo. Decir means to say or to tell. Estoy diciendo la verdad. I'm telling the truth. Servir kind of looks like the word it is. To serve. The E changes to I. Sirviendo. Dormir, to sleep. The O changes to U. Durmiendo. Traer, which means to bring. Trayendo, bringing. This one's a little bit different where it changes to the Y, and leer follows the same pattern. So leer would change to leyendo. Muy bien. Yo estoy leyendo un libro. I am reading a book. Estoy trayendo la tequila a la fiesta. I'm bringing the tequila to the party. Estoy durmiendo por 8 horas. I am sleeping for 8 hours. Okay. So, vamos a practicar un poquito. So like I said before, what can be difficult about using the present progressive, it's just going to give you the verb that you need to put into the ing form. You have to remember to insert the estar. So patinar means to skate. En el invierno, ellos patinar en el parque. And I want you to say they are skating in the park. Remember, invierno is winter. Ellos. So what form of estar goes with ellos? Están. Exacto. Then you have to look at patinar. Is patinar an AR verb or is it an ER-IR verb? It's an AR verb. So you're going to drop your AR to get your stem and you're going to add ando. Ellos están patinando. En el invierno, ellos están patinando en el parque. El americano, comer las hamburguesas. So what form of comer is going to agree with el americano? You're going to have to pick that form of the verb out. So el americano está, is comer an ER verb or an AR verb? It's an ER verb, so your ending's going to be iendo. El americano está comiendo las hamburguesas. Muy bien. Martín, what form of estar is going to go with Martín? Está. Jugar is an AR verb. Martín está jugando el baloncesto. Martin is playing basketball. Yo, what form of estar goes with yo? Estoy. Beber is it an AR verb or ER verb? ER. Estoy bebiendo. el agua durante el ejercicio. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to do more irregular verbs. There are so many that we can get into, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So this one is just dealing with present tense and present progressive. So what I'm going to have you guys do is use this, the cheat sheet that you have, to get the answers that you need on the quiz. So as long as you can understand what subject pronoun and ending go together, you're going to be amazing. And if you get it wrong, no worries. You get to take it up to 3 times. And so you have more than one opportunity to perfect your verbs. Okay, hasta la próxima lección. Till the next lesson. I can't wait to see you guys. Que tenga buen día. Ciao.